Hey guys, this is Kirob speaking, and today we are back in the Merano OCD Design Challenge. And we are going to jump right into it. It is 1955 and we are going to check out the designs for the Verdini CSS. And we are going to check out the public build entries first, and then go on to the open beta based versions. As a quick reminder, the styling design pillars for Merano are simple, elegant, with attention to detail. Let's see what the contestants have crafted this time. And the first one to be checked out is Baku. And whoa, what is this? In case you needed a razor, there's no need for it anymore if you have this car. You can probably shave with this thing. Oh, this is really cool. So it's kind of attached here. That's nicely done, nicely done. Anyway, front. Apart from this massive chromey bit up front, what does it look like if we change that to just a dark color? Fixtures like this, and okay. Yeah, it was better before, wasn't it? But it is very blinding. It sure is very blinding. Anyway, so the front. Yes, I mean, I can see that working. As well as some of the design elements we did see in the Titos as well, of the same contestant. And not bad. Quite like that, but it's a bit overburdening here. It's very heavy. It's again very heavy design, but it does look cool. That's for sure. And I do like how the sides are. Yeah, I remember that from the Titos. Yes, this was also a very overburdening design. It was all over the place for the Titos, but in this one it works a lot better. It does work a lot better. Still too much, and also nicely crafted. Here we have some windscreen wipers as well, some nicely placed. Holy shit, these are individual grills being placed. Oh my, okay. Well, this is a little weird. This one would be longer. There are 4 more. Or 3 more? 3 more. No, 4 more. I think if these were gone, then it would be symmetric. So I don't know if this is deliberate or not. Let's have a look at the top. Okay, yes. And the rear? Ooh, oi. Fins and massive chrome spoiler. This is a really cool idea, with the antennas being used as the fixing aid for the massive chrome wing mirror. And this is weird. And this is a... Let me describe it as such. It's a cool, bad design. It's a really fucking cool design. And it's really bad for Merano. This looks like some kind of American style Merano. Really American style Merano from the 50s. Which also is very questionable in rear end design. This looks like an alien. And these grills are a little too modern. And you used them here too. But here somehow they work a little better. I don't know why. No, I guess they fit the form quite well. So that works. But man, this is too much. This is way too much. And the front is quite nice. The sides work like a lot better than before. And from the side, these fins are working really well too. But overall, so yeah, what do you give this one? You're making it really hard, aren't you? This is a cool design, really cool design, but so very not fitting Merano. So it is a probably 5 or 6 for just being cool, and then the rear -1, and then it not being Merano is another -1.5 or something. No, let's give this one a 4. I mean, there is something in here, but it's not just Merano in this one. There's like 90% some other brand. And next up, the almighty Twingo. And what do we have here? Well, that's a lot simpler in design. Oh, that's big chromy areas. Not really what Merano is about. It's not very elegant to have that. But let's have another look at the front. And this works, doesn't it? Especially these lights in here with their... I really like this design. And the badging is beautiful inside. Well, the lights obviously fit in their place there. Lights below, I don't know if these lights... it's probably for balancing reasons that they are there. So yeah, the front is okay. Quite like that. We have standard setup there, windscreen wipers. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. Fuel cap and a V8. Nice. That's a nice idea. What do we have here? Just the V8 badge. Yeah, that works. And then the rear, Verdini, and a bit of a grill here, and way too much grill here, and way too much chrome, very in your face. Verdini, I think that is a bit too large and a bit too far spaced, isn't it? This is not some kind of 80s off-roader where it's throwing letters of the brand all over it, or the name of the model. But yep, not overly aggressive exhaust. That's nice. And we have our reverse light there, a single one. Otherwise, this fits quite nicely. Antenna here. Yeah, this is not bad. It's not bad. I mean, it has some questionable aspects, like the grills and so on, but overall, that's not bad. And this is very nicely made. Very nicely made. So, I think this is worth a... Is it good overall? Is it a good design? It's scratching it. Yeah, I think so. It's either a 5.5 or 6. So let's err on the positive side and give it, for some nice attention to detail with a V8. That's creative. Nice. Give it a 6. And next up is Leslie Vangelo. And what do we have here? The Verdini. Oh, this looks awesome. Yes, this is simple and elegant. And this looks sporty too. Nicely done with the vent there and the door. From the front, now let's see. We have number plate holders. Interesting. Bit of a chrome accent put in. Nicely fitting badge. I'm not so sure about the shape of these grills here. It seems very modern, but it kind of works with the rest of the shapes. So it does collide with these a bit, in my opinion. It does collide with those a bit. Does it look better without these? I don't know. Here, okay, fuel cap there. That's nicely done. Antenna, some wing mirrors, and this is, I find, beautiful. I mean, there's no way to open this door, but that's minor details, right? It's minor details. Also, what the fuck is going on here? Some issues with... That's probably not your fault. Yeah, some body issues. Anyway, top, nice and clean. Nothing there. Nothing needed. And the rear. Big letters again. This is just not required. It's just not required, but it is not all over the place. Exhaust is decent as well, and overall the this line over the whole thing just fits very nicely. So the badging works. I mean, the bumper works. That's like error correct and stuff. So apart from the grill up front, which looks good, but too modern, I think this is really good. Well, not really good. Really solid. It's a really solid design, and with some of the good aspects of it, I think this one should also get a 6. And here we have Micon P7. Has this already settled? I think it has, yes, okay. And the front. Yeah, okay. Okay. It's not half bad. I mean, nice badging there. We have a bit of a bulge of chrome up front, but this is still mid-50s, so that kind of fits. White rings around the headlights. I mean, it's within the company color theme, that's for sure. Highlights are allowed to be white. I'm not so sure if it works well. I mean, I haven't seen it without. What kind of fixture is this? Is it a fixture? Or is this a car feature? This might be a car feature. Yeah, so let's take a quick look at the paint. Well, I probably should do that a little later. Yeah, before we mess things up, let's continue looking at the design first. Oh, this is nice. That's a manually crafted Merano badged fuel cap with a hinge and some hinging going on there as well. That's nicely done. And there we have the grip. That is good attention to detail. Really good attention to detail. So this part of it looks a little brutal, while this looks nice and round. So that bites it a bit, but it's not necessarily bad. I'm not sure about these highlights in combination with all the chrome that is around as well. I think that's too much. There's too much going on here. These air intakes look very 50s, so that's cool. And the rear, it's not a 1000 horsepower car. You don't have to put massive exhausts on there, but otherwise, I guess it kind of works. It looks 50s to some extent. And whoa, what is this? That's the first time I've seen it being used that way. Let's take a quick closer look. So let's go from the top. Is this what I think it is? Oh no, okay. Oh, this is really nice. Yeah. It is very well done. Apart from the R, which is sitting too low. My OCD is triggered. But overall, this work. There are way more elements in this one that work well than those that don't work. It's still overburdening on the sides. 3 lines is just too much. And the rear is a little heavy as well. Doesn't look very elegant, more plump than elegant, but the badging, nicely done. And otherwise, here, oh man, I think this is also, now, yeah, with the front is so strong. The front is so strong. The front is definitely a 7 overall. Nicely done. I still have a weird camera. Nicely done, but the rear just doesn't hold up. That is more a 5-ish. It's solid, but nothing great, and the sides are also nothing great. I think you get a 6 overall as well. And next up is MGR 99, and ooh, yes, this is rather pretty. Quite like it. Merano up front. Some weird lighting going on there. There's not much you can do about that, unfortunately. Probably looks better in a photo scene. But, oh, that's neat. That's some real attention to detail right there. Like small holding bolts for the blinkers, manually crafted in there. And plate holder here as well in the same style. This is a really pretty front. How did you do this stuff? Is this a new fixture we have or something? Looks more manually crafted than one that exists. But yeah, I mean the front works. It just works. And we do have a V8 badging there, also with the blinker holding bolts. And, oh, what do my OCD eyes spot there? Not perfectly aligned, sir, but that's within the limits. We have our fuel cap here, wing mirrors, nicely placed. Individual vents, and that's quite well done. Let's check out the rear. Oh no, no. A little too much again. Why? Why, guys, do you put so many letters everywhere? It's just not required. Alright. But this is real nice. Like, again, same style with the bolts holding the lights. And the bolts holding this. And then we have, whoop. Also nicely done here. Some ventilation there. Oh, this is quite difficult to make, and that you can see that there were some problems going along the seams here. Not easy. See where you were going, and I think you could have stopped like right there along the line of this one, so that it ends here. No need to continue on over the hood there, and there's too much going on in the rear with all the letters and badging and everything. 4 exhausts. Well, interesting decision for a V8. 1 exhaust per 2 cylinders. Yeah, not bad. A lot of them, yes. But it does look decent enough. And there's some real attention to detail here. And it's not quite right. This is overburdening and too much lettering going on, but otherwise it's just really good. Like the front is fantastic. Like the front, I would say, and like the side up to there together probably is 7.5 or 8. But then the rear is a letdown with all the. It's too much. It's too much going on. I think overall this is a 7. Yeah, I think this is worthy 7. It's a very good design. And here we have Sad Diseased with his no-name car. And it's almost cherry-colored. Looks weird. And it's not properly red. It's almost pinkish. Okay, let's have a look. So, number plate and the bumper bar does go well together. We do have some weird reflections from, of course, down here, so it looks blue and weird. You have to think that away. The Merano badge, this does look more like 60s to me, I believe. I'm not quite sure. Also, it's doubled up with this one. Yellow lights. It's a bit more of a French approach to designing these, but it is simple. Is it elegant enough? It's close. The thin chrome lines, yeah, that's nice. With the, yeah, this is looking good. Here's some nuts and bolts. Oh, that's probably for cleaning the windscreen. And side blinkers, that looks very appropriate and very nice and simple. And the rear, yeah, it's not overburdening. Okay, we do have some massive reverse lights. Do they need to be that large? Also, this badge that large in there, not sure about that. And the lettering, oh, nicely crafted. OCD safe. You get the OCD stamp of approval on this one. So overall, what do we think here? There's not much wrong with this one. And there's not much that is great with this one either. So I think, overall, this is a pretty good design. Like the badge here is questionable in some minor details and stuff, but yeah, still well done. Still well done. The simplicity works, so I do want to give this a 6 as well. And next up is Dragonlight Bites. And what do we have here? Okay. Well, these blinkers make it look like a little vampire car. Not sure if that is intended. It not only wants to eat you, it wants to bite you too. The badging though, well, that's pretty fancy. That doesn't look quite like Merano, but the badge itself is fantastic. I really like the combination here. Yeah, it's really nicely done. Yeah, not necessarily Merano style, or what I would think of it as Merano, because Merano is more elegant and simple and stuff, and this is more. This is very, very masculine and like knighty and stuff. I mean, where are the swords? And Vampire Slayer's silver sword. It uses silver. No, wait a sec. You need some flocks as well to put through the heart. Anyway, oh, also some weird fins going on here. Quite playing with some styles. Double line down here. Ooh, not quite sure about this. It's a bit too much. And what's going on there? Probably didn't quite import correctly. So the front isn't overburning. We have one windscreen wiper there, and it's just, yeah, that's decent enough. Weird styling, but I guess it kind of works. The sides fit the front, and the rear. Too much! It's too much, and it looks weird. The styling is a bit all over the place, isn't it? And this looks very modern. And then the chrome in there. It's a good thought with the accent put around it all. But it so quickly gets too much. The badging again. In your face. It's beautiful, but not quite fitting. And, yeah, overall. This is pretty, again, a cool design, but doesn't quite fit the bill. So overall, I think we give this a, because of how weird it is, the elements that don't quite fit the style of Merano, and the rear that is all over the place, it seems. But cool, I have to give it that. I think it's a 4. And the next one up is question mark. Mark, I have a question for you. Why don't you put fixtures on the side? You do, but not many. Which is better than too many. But, yeah. Oh, okay. Like, text-wise, there's everything on here. And it's too much. But let's start at the front. Ah, yeah, I remember this one from the Titus. Okay. A bit weird with a cooling up front that is see-through. It's not aligned to anything. Looks more like wings there. This is a little odd. The lights seem way too large, don't they? Like, especially these. And, whoa. This one looks like it's drinking a lot of fuel with how big this one is. And okay, can be opened from there. Nice attention to detail. And the rear, apart from that much text, I mean, if these were really small, like this and this without the lines on top and bottom, and this one, like about the size is correct, but in the corner here, like lined up there and more together, and this one in the same size, the same font, put in here in the corner, and then just the Merano in the middle with the badge, I think this would look quite nice. Simple, yet effective. The rear, the taillights are working. And again, oh no, the massive chromy thing on top. It's too much. It's too much. This is not too far off. It's actually not too far off. I think this is overall. Let me try something. Like, okay, this is a 5. This is a 5. It's solid. It has some elements missing, like a little too little here. odd choice of placement here and changing font and shit. But in the front, it's nice and simple. It's nice and simple and yet somewhat elegant. It's not great though. So it's a 5. It's a, let's call it solid. I want to try one thing though. Let's move this down a bit. Let's see what that does. Does that make it better? It's hard to tell. It's definitely less in your face. Maybe if we connect them. Something like this. No, also doesn't quite work. What about this then? No, something's missing. Anyway, next car please. And now we have GF06. Whoa, black eyes. Not sure if I like that, but might be better than white eyes that we've also seen. And again, here's special badging there. Nice idea. This shape does look a bit modern. This kind of works. And I'm not entirely sure if this is a good choice to have the blinkers be offset to with their center towards the highlight line, but offset number plate, kind of topical for, or the error correct. But what the fuck is that? That really seems odd. Like, what? Why would you do that? I mean, yeah, it cuts nicely some kind of fins there, but that is about 3 magnitudes, order of magnitudes too large. A factor 1,000 plus minus 1,000. No, this is way too large. It's not a nice little detail. It is just overburning. And also quite a lot of detail here. Again, a weird place to open the bonnet, or rather to get to the baggage. That is odd. Or it's like, do you lift this whole thing off and then throw it to the side? What's going on? Windscreen wipers probably are blocking half of your view, so that's also a little odd. Lots of chrome around. And again, the antenna on the side, we've seen that before. Oh, the rear, okay, not too shabby. I quite like this idea. It's not entirely centered. My OCD is triggered. The upper one is centered. That's nice. This one isn't. And the line doesn't go to the middle of this one either. But the idea is there. Quite like it. This line going around, probably too much again. Some cooling slits up there. The lettering, let's see how OCD safe it is. It is OCD safe. Almost. So yeah, I mean the rear isn't too bad. It isn't too bad. Doesn't look great, but isn't too bad. It's just those lines going everywhere. It's too much. And of course, this is the hallmark of a design that gets a 2. But no, for that the rest of the car is way too good. So where do we end up here? Difficult to tell. I would give it a 5, but then there's this thing. So, sorry, because of that, I just can't. That is too much. A 4.5. But then again, I'm having second thoughts. Let's see. Oh, this is actually a fixture. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, well, this is more of an appropriate size. Something like this. Let's do it like that, and we can make that one just connect there. I know it doesn't go all the way to the front. Like this. Make this larger. There we go. And well, yeah, there's a bit of too much of a gap there. As you can see, It no longer blinds you when it's driving past and turning towards you, which is an advantage. But yeah, so my second thoughts were like 4.5. It is like the rear has solid elements to it. It has solid elements to it. But yeah, I just wanted to check that. I think I remain with the 4.5 though. I had second thoughts, but no. Unfortunate. There was more in this one though. There was more in it. More potential. And next up we have BF94 with this creation. Let's have a look. Well, that's pretty solid. I really like the look at the front. The cross in the front grille is working well with this line coming down here and the line being hinted at over here on the sides as well. The bumper bar is also fitting in nicely. From some angles they are somewhat covering these lights, which is a little odd. I would have thought these to be slightly more inward, but and maybe this one more centered. This seems odd. Yeah, that seems like an odd choice to have these little lights not being centered in the grille and this line running not parallel to the grille. That's a little strange, but oh look, the Merano badging, nicely done. Some hinges here to opening the boot for some baggage, and single wing mirror. It's fine with the oh nice V8. A fuel cap there and antenna and everything. Everything seems to be in place. Only a streak of chrome along the side, nice and simple. A dual headroom attachment on the roof. That's fine. It kind of looks a little odd, but I can see it working. And the rear. Do we like the rear? This here looks more like a little wart growing. I know it is a hood scoop, but it feels a little out of place. I would have expected something a bit more elegant than this. Yeah, not sure, but let's have a look. So you take the lettering here, very nicely aligned. Merano badging there, also pretty nicely aligned. Not entirely perfect, but very, very close to OCD safe. And what do we have there? Okay, some opener. This is the thing with some of the fixtures not being perfectly centered themselves, so it looks like they are slightly off center. But the rear works overall, apart from this wart up there. I would say it's a good design, if not a bit better. The front is really nice. Like, the front is a 7 to me. The sides, solid plus. I'd say 5.5. The rear, probably a 6. So overall, what do we give you overall? It's all pretty well crafted. Some nice ideas, good execution. Is it a 6.5? Or 6? Like, with this front, I do want to go with the 6.5. Yeah, I think so. 6.5. And now we make a quick jump into the open beta version and check out these 4 cars before we head back into public. And first up is Sdom. And we have a look. And this is a look. It looks good. It is good. I like the branding up front. It's beautiful. Just doesn't need to be massive, guys. Doesn't need to be massive. This is just a little touch. Beautiful. Nicely framed too. And led to via the chromey bits. And there's interesting configuration down here with the vents and the chrome around, the blinkers. Everything seems to be in a good place. It's an interesting composition. I like it how how the bumper bar nicely frames everything, puts it into, it makes it steady, while these elements are a little playful and well sized too. It all fits in. Well, maybe the headlights are slightly too big, just ever so slightly, not by much. Do we have? It's on black background. Okay, I see. So, what more do we have here? Oh, this is nicely done. And there is quite a bit of work in here, and it's looking good. Wing mirrors in a good spot. Ah, nice. Some more branding and detailing in black. Interesting, yes, that is one of the paint options in Merano. It is black trim and white or chrome highlights. CSS, are you? Oh, yes, you are. You are OCD safe. Well done. Nice touch down here with the chrome. I think this is maybe a bit too much with a thick bar like this going across there. I don't think you need both necessarily. It might look better without that one. But, okay, antenna, nice. Nice. The rear, let's check out the rear. Verdini. Yes and no. This feels like there's a bit too much going on. Let's zoom out a bit. It's a little shiny and stuff. It's a bit too much sticking out of it. A little too much sticking out of it. It doesn't look quite like this in the front. This looks more settled than this. Can't quite put my finger on why. Maybe it's all the stuff sticking out of it. That could be. Anyway, the actual implementation of these things is pretty solid. Yeah, the R is poking out a little, and the A is, but you can't really change that. They are on a good height. This is all nicely spaced, well done, CSS. I don't think you have to repeat that. It's fine there. So you could have made something like Merano and Verdini is below it and then just leave that one out, or have that instead of Merano, which you have in the front nicely framed. It's overall just a little too much in the rear. But, okay, we have to find some conclusion here on this car. The front, I think that's a 7. It's a really nice design up front. It's a very good design. The sides, yeah, for the most part good. I would say that's roughly a 6. And we have the rear. Something is going awry there. That's a 5.5 maybe. A little bit more than solid. So overall, where do we end up? Probably a 6.5. Yeah, the front is so solid. And the implementation overall is really good. So, yeah, let's go with 6.5. And next up is Sky High. And, this is not a bad look. But it's not a Merano look. This is a Gesmian sports car look. It's very big and chromy and like, yes, get here, little one, I shall smash you. Yeah, it's well designed, but I don't quite see that working. Nice use of the very limited bumper bar here. This is all very in your face. There's very little room for nuance here. It's just crazy. And then this is very empty in comparison. Yeah, let's take a look at the sides. This is quite nice. Yeah, a little subtle. Some ventilation there. Windscreen wipers. Chrome bar along the sides. And the rear. Oh yeah, this is not overburdening. This is okay. I'm not sure if these need to be the same size. Almost. Are they the same size or almost the same size? They look like almost the same size. Just like Uncanny Valley smaller than these. So it's so close that it is weird. Probably needed to be a little smaller. It would have made it look less hefty too. The rear is simple enough, I would say. yet works. The sides are alright. The front is Gasmian. Fruinians don't like Gasmians, do they? They have a weird taste in sports cars, those filthy Gasmians. So if this was a small, like, premium, a little muscle car, like a little muscle car challenge, then this is the look. This is the look. It's a great look for that. So I think this passes as solid. This is solid as well. And that is also solid. And because it's overall so solid, I shall give you a solid plus 5.5. And next up is Accent. Let's have a look. Hello, little car. Oh, this looks... just look at this difference to what Sky High had. This looks super tame and playful in comparison to that muscly design you had there before. So, is it good? I'm not convinced. And this kind of looks like the designer himself wasn't quite convinced. But that was the... this is beautiful. I like it. Is it simple? Yes. Is it elegant? Yeah. Yes, little something is missing here. I don't know, maybe something that connects the front to the rest of the car. Not entirely sure what though. Maybe a thin line running from the badge across the middle here into the car, so to say. We have windscreen wipers there, some additional cooling, that is good. Something like this. But I can see why you did it here and then maybe didn't want to repeat it there. Although, you barely ever see both at the same time. Nah, you would. Kinda would. Yeah, I don't know. You probably have tried that already. But anyway, this is a nice touch. I'm not so sure about the additional line here though. Is that really required? You don't have much of that going on here. Like stuff connecting it longitudinally across the car. Blinkers and stuff, alright. Your wing mirrors are fine. This is fine. This is all lined. You have this line running down. I don't think you would have needed that one. I see what you're going for here. It's kind of a pistol look or something. Maybe that wasn't deliberate, but it kind of works. But this line alone might have been enough. And the rear. I think if you had gone for a lot smaller lettering, like really nuancey, fancy, we don't need to boast about anything lettering, maybe with a little line under, that would have looked a lot better. Maybe half the size, that would have been enough. That would have been enough. Otherwise, this does work. Otherwise, this isn't bad. Yeah, like this isn't bad either, but it's definitely not as good as it could have been, in my opinion. Okay, where are we at? Nice and simple up front. I would say this is a little odd, but good. This is also a little odd, but good. This is lacking a little because of this weird lettering. Yeah, this is a bit too much. Doesn't seem tasteful enough with like massive letters like that. In this configuration, that is. And you wouldn't be boasting about 2200cc for a V8. Unless you're a Fruinian and like small V8s. Anyway, so 6, 5.5. Overall, does this feel like overall the same good car? I think it does. I think it's a 6. Yeah, let's say it's a 6. And next up is Infinity. What have you designed? That... a little busy up front. There's so many riffles here, and these individual grills and strong lines there, badging, holes, big bumper bar. Yeah, I'm not so convinced. Nice how you laid out the, use the grill to just continue on to put your blinkers there. That's an interesting compositional choice. Double eyes for the headlights. And some crown on top. What are these? Ah, okay, yeah, to open the bonnet. Yeah, that's fine. Or to get to your baggage, which is situated right in there. Yeah, this is a little too busy. A little Gazmian pony car-esque, isn't it? And whoa, that is way too modern. That's looking way too modern with the paint there again. And this, okay, yeah, I mean, that can work. Verdini. How have you done here? Ah, nice. Your slant again, we've seen that before. Doesn't seem to have all the same slant. The D, is that as tilted as the others? It's hard to tell. It's not quite, is it? Oh, with the I it matches up. Okay. Interesting touch, tilting that. I quite like that. Quite like the playful nature of that. But this doesn't look quite as playful, does it? This looks very settled, very harsh. And we go down the sides. Chromey bits. One chrome line. I'm not so sure, but why is this here? This is just unnecessary. This doesn't do anything. Then this, okay. Well, some vents on the side. You can have that. Well, you could argue that this does something. In the rear? Similar to the front, not quite as bad in those regards. This looks more fitting to some extent. But one thing I think I can point out what is going on here, what is putting me off. It is you use a lot of small parts. Like everything is quite small, and then there's lots of it. It's a weird. Is that true? Kinda is. And these parts are all pretty small, but there's a lot going on. It doesn't feel elegant enough for what we're going for. This is quite nice. Windscreen wiper there. Badging. What is going on there? Oh, there's a keyhole. Okay, yeah, to unlock the boot. Or the bonnet, rather. Because there's the engine underneath. Some lamps for... Oh, that's nicely done. Let's check out the lettering here. Verdini. That is OCD safe. Almost. The E and the R are slightly below. The B is slightly high. Pixel or two. So overall... Yeah, I don't quite like the design. But you have been reasonably consistent with it. Yeah. I mean, it does fit together front and rear. It doesn't look like a Merano at all. I still think it's pretty solid. It's not a bad job. There's some obvious flaws to it. Well, obvious. Obvious in air quotes, I guess. So I'm going to settle with a... Yeah. It's quite solid, isn't it? Nothing special, though, for Merano. This could very well be another brand. Gazmian brand. Ugh. Filthy Gazmians. A 5. And next up are the remaining cars from the public version. Yes. Mr. Petkov is up first. And there we go. Okay. Simple design. I can see some design recalls from your previous model. And, oh, interesting design choice. Placing the blinkers on top. Ah. Alright. Might be a bit blinding at night, but, yeah. I mean, if they are... Yeah, that's weird. Of course, they would be shielding to the top here, or to this direction, so that you don't blind yourself when you want to turn. But anyway, it's quite good. The lights partially being hidden below this, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense though. Does it? No, it does not. I would have liked a hint of plate holder, preferably here somewhere, because that would be filling this massive gap you have. It is not a bad one, because you know what's going to be there. Or are you intending this plate as a holder? Maybe. Maybe it would be. I think it would look better with a number plate in this instance. Otherwise, pretty simple. You have some lines running across. Okay. And the sides. Let's have a look. Ah, you're going for the wheel arch thing again. A vent here. Blinker nicely situated inside. Is this too modern? No, maybe not. I mean, this is 50s. It's kind of fine. Looks a little bit more 80s in style, but you can pass on that. And same thing here. Ah, nice. Nice. So having these arches, this looks a bit more Hot Wheels-esque than maybe necessary. It is the right era to do this in chrome. I think in black it would actually look better. But yeah, it's the wrong era for that. Not so sure about this super fat line here, down here. This seems to be overdoing it. Let's have a look at the rear. Quite nice. Quite nice. Quite shiny. Shiny. This is almost like China. Yeah. I like how you put in these lights here, the blinker and the reverse. Looking good. Again, the font, that is way too modern for the era. This is like a typical 80s font. Doesn't fit in the 50s. But the look of the rear is quite good. Yeah, so overall, I'm liking it. Liking the design. The only bummer is the damn bumper, covering half the fascia. And no number plate. Would have made it look better. So, have you gone here for any kind of double thing? No, you have not. That's probably for the better. But interesting choice to put them on top. Never seen that before. It's cool. That is cool stuff. Overall, I think this is a pretty good design. Is it more than a good design? Yeah. Has some oddities, but I mean, perfection is a 10, and we are way off that anyway. This has so many good things going for it. I think it's a 6.5. Yeah, that is pushing it. That is really pushing it. But I think you deserve a 6.5 for this one because of some real cool solutions you have been going for. If it were more error correct, you would be getting more. And yeah, 6.5 it is. And next up is Necron Assassin, the guy who didn't get the memo. This is a bad joke. Bad jokes are not welcome, but we can quickly alleviate these troubles. Ah, Merano red. Yes, much. Ah, fuck. Where do we? Which one is this? Is that the secondary? No, this is not the secondary. Chrome, go Chrome. Is this the tertiary? Yes. Okay. Like this. Yeah, that's better. Okay, let's have a look at this then. Windscreen wipers at a weird angle. That is not a good default position. It is really not a good default position. There would be a lot of force on them all the time and destroying your aerodynamics. But maybe they didn't care about aerodynamics. The front, quite good. Quite good. I like the dual lights up front here. Little fog lamp and the main headlamp. Split bumper fitting really nicely with the number plate there. And the grille, yeah, it works. It's not too overburning and it just looks classy. I like it. Sides, Some blinker inside here. This is also a shape that looks too modern. Especially with the blinker inside. But an interesting design. And we have some ventilation rear. Could have had a little line down here maybe, but you have overall been a little sparse with lines on this one. So, like if there were a middle line going down to the badge, then there would have been a need for having a line there, but because you don't, I can see that why it's not really necessary. Let's check out the rear. A little mundane. Otherwise, reasonably good. Reverse light. You have 2, you only needed 1, I believe. But it's alright. It's a little bit of a letdown after the front was such a good design. No real recalls from the front. Or are there? If so, they're non-obvious to me. So yeah, this is a bit of a letdown. So what do we go for? The front, I believe, is something like a 6.5. I really like it. 6.5. This is 5. And this is doesn't work for me. 4.5. So overall, a unfortunate. And the trolley color. Yeah, okay, 5.5. Fuck you. And last, but probably not least, roadkill. Huh. Hello there? Anyone home? Hello? Anyone? This design is a little empty. Hello? No, it's fine. It's actually fine. Simple but elegant. Yeah, check. We don't have an engine here, so why put massive amounts of shit on the front, right? This kind of works. It's really simple. It looks like a quick design, but one that doesn't mess around. There's nothing on here that is unnecessary. It all feels like it's in place. But let's see if you can carry that style throughout the car. That is the challenging bit here. If you succeed, and that is a good design or even a very good design. Let's see. So sides, simple, not much going on. No design recalls here though. I was expecting some kind of additional line, because you have one here. And maybe a little bit of a Merano badging, because you have that there. Maybe even a little bit of blinker, because you have that there. But, I mean, standard stuff, windscreen wipers, wing mirrors, all good. Let's take a look at the rear. No. This is not the same car. This is a spaceship. This is a filthy Gasmian spaceship. Can't have that. Or is it an airplane? This looks like an airplane. Merano Verdini airplane. We didn't ask for airplane designs. We asked for the most beautiful car designs. And too much chrome heavy stuff going on here. That is too much compared to the simple, straightforward front. So no, you fail at matching front and rear. Some interesting stuff going on. I really like your design approach on the front. It takes some balls to just use very few elements like these and make it work. It takes no balls to just slap a lot of chrome on there. You filthy Gasmian. And what do we say overall? 6. That is a 4.5. And that is 4.5. So unfortunately, you are falling flat with your breaking your own design. Started well, continued meh, and ended up meh. So it's a 5 overall. And that was all entries for the 1955 Verdini CSS, and we do have a narrow win that is uncontested for MGR 99. And what a beautiful build it is. So classy. Look at it. So good. That is a very good entry for sure. And we shall test drive it in the upcoming BeamNG Drive episode for the Verdini and see how it handles and see if it needs to be fixed or something. Anyway, congratulations to MGR and see you guys next time.